Eric, you remember last week when we were on cloud nine, even though we lost?
Sure.
I miss that.
Yeah, this past week was a rough one, wasn't it, Noah? I don't even know what to say. We're gonna dive in. We're gonna look at some of these plays here, but give me your overall thoughts and impressions as you went through the film.
Yeah, this game was ugly, is the first note that I wrote down for this. It more so has to do with the circumstances of the game and everything that was going on, whether it be the backup offensive linemen that were playing all across the board for us, aside from Joel Bitonio, whether
Yeah.
it be the weather and rookie receivers and whatnot, whether it be having a rookie quarterback. Everyone, no one is safe, right? Everyone is to blame for this loss. This is an offensive side of the ball that when they came together, got absolutely nothing going at all. And then when they did, they would go shoot themselves in the foot some more. I want to give everybody a quick reminder to subscribe to us, leave a comment down below, keep the conversation going, and check us out on all socials at The Office CLE. That's at sign The Office CLE for even more content from yours truly. Eric, it's an ugly game. There's still plenty of things for us to break down, and I'm ready to get into it. Are you?
Yeah, let's do it. You didn't ask my first impressions though.
What's your first impressions, buddy? I'm sorry.
Blah. I mean, can we say it much more accurately than that? I mean, the very first play of the game, which we're going to get into in a second, but the very first play of the game, I'm already yelling at my TV, which tells you that I'm insane because I shouldn't be this passionate at this point in the season, but I'm already yelling at my TV. So let's just get into it. This is play one of the game, kickoff.
Yeah, let's do it because when have we ever broke down special teams tape on this channel? I'm not a special teams guru. I'm not going to say anything here, but I am going to say something here. I'm going to pause this real quick. And I just hate the pursuit angles for everyone here. As you get here, everyone is over pursuing on the backside already. That's where this pops. The guy that's in there to make the tackle that's on the ground right now on the 25 is on the ground because he over pursued the returner. And it's just bad pursuit all the way around. I also don't like the effort of everyone here. I feel like everyone's just accepting the fact that they're blocked and then they get the ball on the 45-yard line. What do you see here? I know you are not a special teams expert either, Eric, but I feel like you have to talk about it when it is this bad.
Yeah, I've never seen a special teams unit as bad as the Browns. Like it's consistently bad in all facets of special teams. Honestly, I don't know what's going on. I don't know that they're coached. Period. Like I know you make the joke often, fire Bubba Ventrone, but like, how does this keep happening?
Oh,
Like statistically, it's so improbable that we'd continue to have run backs on us like this. Yeah, I don't know enough about special teams to say, oh, they're misaligned or whatever, but clearly there's an issue.
oh,
And I can't believe we're even having that conversation right now.
and they have made the excuse about the personnel being weak in this position group, and I do think that's part of the problem as well. When you're a bad team, you don't have good special teamers because the players that are could be good special teamers are taking your full team reps away because your team is bad. This special teams unit is a problem. It's a coaching problem. It's a talent problem. It's front to back just ugly, and it's going to continue to be a thorn in our side until we make major changes in that department, not just at the coaching staff level, but at all levels. Um,
I
Over
just
pursuing, real quick, Eric, over pursuing on special teams routes, special teams lanes is like day one basic special teams to me. And you see it to an extent there on the first play of the game. I get it's cold. I get you might be a little tight. Do better. I don't know.
Well, you see it's an unblocked lane there, but 52 yards to open the game is just asinine. And don't forget they gave up 2 kick returns for touchdowns against the Jets several weeks ago. They're just playing dumb, dumb football. It's a lack of discipline. Um, like I don't even know what to say at this point. I just God.
It is a god indeed. Can we get into something that I like to talk about at least to at least give me a little bit of a bright spot because it's some O line play, but it helps paint the picture of what's going on with this game for Shedeur and the rest of the team.
Actually, yes, but before you get into it, I just wanna say one thing about this O-line. Walk me through this. I don't know if you saw that the Browns, cut, Garrett Dellinger,
Yeah. The guy I
and
couldn't
the
name the other day on the show because he was a practice squad player for us all year.
correct, but the Titans picked him up. Here's the thing, though, the Browns have 1 healthy guard, Joel Bitonio,
Yep.
1 injured and can't get on the field in Zinter, and a guard who left, injured on Sunday, and yet, we call up Dellinger from the practice squad as the only depth that we have on the interior right now. He went into action, and he was the team's, highest graded lineman, on his
Yep.
29 snaps.
For PFF, yep, I did
Mhm.
see that right before we came on as well. Yep.
So
Um,
naturally, we waive him.
so
Make it make
th-
sense, please, to pick back
I'm
up
gonna
Gage Harvin
explain
again,
what happened. You're not gonna like it. I don't love it, especially when you look at it in that lens. They cut Jamari Thrash last week,
or Thrash,
and
yeah, that's who I
Y
meant.
and they brought him back in, and he was a 5th round draft pick, and Dellinger, they don't have stock in at all, so they're trying to make sure they keep their guys. That's what happened there, for better or for worse, for, sticking through with people that you shouldn't stick through maybe, because obviously they don't see much in Jamari Thrash whatsoever because he hasn't done anything since we've drafted him, but this I
You're
think it
right, I
was 2
don't like
years
it.
ago. Yeah, it's the answer though. Let's move on to the offensive line. Eric, what play is this?
This is the 2nd play, it's the 1st drive, and it's, 1st and whatever because of penalties that I'm literally reading from your notes here, and I love how you teed that up, but 1st quarter here, so let's take a look at this.
Yeah, I just don't like the O line effort here. You could see it both angles. Obviously, the tight's the better here, but I'm going to let it run real quick. You could just see the O line getting pushed back from the wide angle, but then I want it to go to this tight angle. I want everybody to pay attention to the center. I'm going to pause it real quick. He is roughly behind where 48 is right now. That is Luke Whippler. That is a guy who is fighting to be the starting center potentially for your Cleveland Browns next year. I just don't love the fact that he gets 0 push on this. In fact, he is in Shadeur's lap.
Yeah.
Now that can happen. Goal line is obviously a tight situation for offensive linemen to try to get push on. You are basically without any type of leeway whatsoever. But you notice it a couple times throughout this game where Luke Whippler doesn't get good push on the run. He looks great in pass pro. I could take you through all the pass pro reps that I loved from Luke Whippler in this game. But there's times throughout this game, whether it be here on the goal line or as you move on later on in the film, where you see a lack of a push in the run game. And I just want to highlight that, especially because of the fact that he may be a starter for the Cleveland Browns on the offensive line next year for lack of a better option as opposed to he deserves to win that starting job. And it's one game with him starting. So we got some more time to look at this and see how he molds with Shador. What do you see with the O line here?
Yeah, you're exactly right. We're getting 0 push. This is a situation where you're almost forced to run it here. When I was watching this live, I was thinking, I'd rather see a back go hit that block on the end and have Shador roll out here. Everyone's expecting the handoff. I think we handed the ball off 2 plays in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we
I
did.
kind of want to see him roll out and get some yards with his legs here because I think it could be there. I get it. That's a little risky when you're talking backed up to the I think if I recall correctly, this was the series where the announcer said they have to pull out the tape measure because it was already like on the 1 yard line and they got a half a distance to the goal penalty.
That's
Um,
why I put first and whatever because of penalties in my notes because who cares? It's first and an inch. Who cares? It's a shit show already.
And that's the key here. You've got it. We talk about it all the time that you can't play behind the sticks. You especially can't with a rookie quarterback. You especially can't with this O line. And yet to start the game, they're behind the sticks in a terrible way here, backed up all the way to the 2 inch line. I'm not sure exactly what you expect here. This is just their guys versus our guys at the end of the day. Everyone knows that play call
Yep.
coming, and that's why I said what I said about rolling him out, maybe even getting a back or a tight end in the flat there. I get it. It's a riskier play, but our O line's not built for this. That's for sure.
To play devil's advocate here too, I mean, you're talking about the last time we tried to pass a ball in this type of situation, Shedeur almost took a safety. I think that's happened twice so far in terms of Shedeur starting.
No,
So
that's fair. Should have been a
it,
safety too.
it's an argument to be had. I'm not saying I disagree with you. On first down, I'm running it. This was first down. On second, third down, they ended up just punting from that basically the same spot, maybe 5 yards up. I think Judkins actually popped for 5 yards. Thank God. But I would have definitely probably tried something like that on second and third just to see if you can get anything going because when you start on the 1 yard line and you stall out like that, you stall your whole offense out and you see what that can result to. The worst case scenario happened on Sunday.
Do you remember the Ohio State, not remember in person because it was like the 60s or whatever, but the Ohio State Michigan game where it was so bad weather-wise they were punting on like second and third down? I was gonna say that maybe the Browns should consider this, except when we actually need our punter, he doesn't show up, so maybe not.
Don't
Let's move
don't
on.
don't crap on Corey. He's still a Pro Bowler. He's still good. He's had some up and down moments, but he's been our best player
It
low
has been
key
a
for
rough year for Corey Bajorquez. Let's move on to the third play, though. This is the third drive. It's 2nd and 10 from the 22-yard line in the first quarter.
Yeah, this is the play that we've been highlighting that we wanted to talk about all week. This is the sack Shador takes when the rusher comes with zero pressure. I'm going to let it run and then I will give you my breakdown of what's going on with the offensive line here. So let's get to this. You see how
Wonderful.
Conklin and I almost said Posick, but it's Whippler now are talking here in the middle.
Mhm.
And you see the left side of the field right now, 53 is showing up with basically being behind that three tech, or yeah, that is a three tech. Well, he's even wider than that. That's like a five tech. Um, you see 53 over here, though. It's basically showing pressure on the left side.
Yep.
So I get what's going on here. I don't think this is on Shador. I think Whippler's actually the one setting the protection here. What happens is this is just really good show and pull defense. 53 pulls to the flat and 48 goes on a delayed run. And because of the fact that Whippler shifts, I'm going to play it from right here. Whippler shifts, and you see Batonio right there give him a tap on the arm. I got your back. Shifts him that way to protect the three coming this way, plus that D tackle because Whippler is going to go block probably 53 or the other D tackle. Um, it's just really good defense against O line without a back there to pick up that mess. Unfortunately,
Wait, give me the tap is I have your back. I mean, I know that's to snap the ball, but
the tap for me, I was letting it run real quick. I
yeah.
don't know for sure if that's what he's saying, but they're obvious. You can tell just by the body language that they're talking, and maybe Batonio is the one also looking for the snap as well. But in terms of what's happening on this protection, from what I know about offensive line, he's sliding to the right with the rest of the O line because of that shown pressure. The reason this gets blown up is because there's no back in there to at least chip and release. And Shador is trying to get rid of that ball, and it's a free rusher to him. So it's actually just good defense by the Bears and a lack of extra pass protection for the Browns. It's really
But
good defense versus an offense. It's good scheming. It's like when you play rock paper scissors, and the rock beats the scissors. The rock just
right.
beat the scissors there.
But bring it up one more time for me and slow it down right as the ball's about to be snapped. Okay, so 48 was peeling off, but no, he comes back in. So my point is though here, if you know, you have two guys on the left side of the line. We're looking at it opposite. What we're looking at the right side, but what's actually the left side of the line. You know, you have three rushers coming in there. Batonio shouldn't have slid, in my opinion. I don't think
No,
that protection should have slid.
Antonio's right. He's scheme correct in terms of talking to him. What should have happened is I believe this is Cornelius Lucas on the backside. He takes the end instead of the closer defender. and that's the wrong decision. He should have posted down on 48 and took 48 and let 94, who's further away from the quarterback, be the free runner because
But
there's
then you
more
have your
time.
blind side just free.
That's I'm it's not
No,
it's
I believe you that I believe the O lineman here, that just seems like a crazy if
it's
that's the
not
case, if that's what we're looking at, then we need a guy in there to chip.
right, but sometimes, unfortunately, in the game of football, rock just beats scissor or paper just beats rock, and that's what happened there in terms of the pass protection. Like
I get it,
I
but if you're changing the protection and you see on the left side of your line, you have 3 rushers for 2, linemen to pick up, something's wrong with the protection there. Those 3, it's pretty clear. I mean, 48 could pull in coverage, but before
you're
that ball snaps,
you're
he's already moving.
you're thinking of it wrong. So typically in a slide protection, if it was 3, it would be Whippler to that nose tackle on the backside. It would be Jenkins to that D tackle, and it would be KT Levinston to the end. Because that linebacker's walked up, he's bringing Joel Bitonio with him for Joel to take the D tackle, Whippler to take either the other D tackle and the linebacker, the guard, which is Tevin Jenkins, to take either the D tackle or the linebacker between the two of whatever the stunt is, and then the tackle being on the island with the end. Because they show this pressure and then they back out of it last second. There's no time for anybody to fix that, and there's no time for anybody to fix that, and there's no time for anybody to read that. You can't read back. Once you make a decision on an assignment, you have to stick with it. That's O line one on one. It just it like I said, it is rock beating scissor. Unfortunately, it is paper beating rock. It is uh scissor beating paper. I was trying to think of the last one. It's just one of those ones that's unfortunate in the game of football, and it came at another inopportune time because you want to try to get your offense going.
Yeah, and again, that's 2nd and 10 at that point, so that's putting you at, like, 3rd and 14, 16, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, bad moment for it to maybe not have some better protection in there. Let's move on though, Noah, to play number 4. So this was the 8th drive. It's 3rd and 9 in the 3rd quarter.
yeah. I honestly want to know your thoughts about this first and foremost because this is the first Shedeur interception, and the more I watch this, the
Mhm.
more I understand what Shedeur reads, and I'm just going to take it from the top. We don't need to see the tight yet. I understand what Shedeur reads. I think the backer who shows blitz and then runs out of it makes a good play on the ball and gets it. I'm not saying it's not on Shedeur; it's on Shedeur to see that that backer is making that play. But I understand what's going on here. Um, to me, it already has to do a little bit with the tunnel vision. Like you said, we're talking third quarter, and the amount of times he threw to Harold Fannin is a storyline of this game. We talked about it earlier this week.
Yeah.
They get him again with this later on in the game, and I'll show you it, where they show pressure and instead of blitzing, they drop back into coverage and get an interception. What do you think about this play? Do you blame Shador? Where are you at with everything? And then I'll let the tight run as well while you talk.
No, I actually agree with what you're saying. Let's let this run because I actually want to pull back to the wide for a second as well. My issue here is not Shador. It's a heck of a play by that linebacker there. My issue is actually in, and I'm going to pause it in a second. Shador here takes the snap and he takes a 3-step drop back. You see there, right?
Yep.
I want him to take a 5-step drop back here because what you're seeing right now on the bottom of your screen is a guy that's going to be wide open streaking down the field for potentially a touchdown. He takes a 5-step drop. He lets that develop a little bit more. So the interception, yes, ultimately it is on him. It's a heck of a play by the linebacker. But you see right where I have it paused here. If he took 2 more steps back, I think he has potentially a big play on his hands. This was too short of a drop back, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the only thing I will push back on that is if the scheme tells him three step drop and throw, you
Yeah,
can't
yeah, I'm
really.
not saying that, he should change it, on the fly or whatever based on what he's reading. I'm saying that, the scheme could have been better here,
Yeah,
especially when you know that you have a guy running that, kinda deep slant route there. Uh, Unless the goal was never to let that develop. My only issue here, um, is that because it is a heck of a play by the linebacker. There's not much Shedeur can really do here in that if that's your target who you're throwing to there, and I think it's Harold Fannin Jr.,
It is Fannin,
um,
yep.
you have 2 defenders that you can't float this ball. By all means, it's unlikely that the linebacker was gonna make this acrobatic catch. He just happened to make a good play. And to your last point, it's like rock beating scissors. This is just what happens in football.
Yeah, and I think what's actually supposed to be going on that backside, I agree with what you're saying. That safety, Jesus, that safety bites down on Fannin because Shador looks at him and throws him the ball. If you're in this cover two look and Shador starts looking backside, I'm assuming it's Bond just because those are the routes they put Isaiah
Right.
Bond on right now. That safety is going to cover, and that's going to be double coverage to Bond. So I get what you're saying,
But
and
this is
that's
where Shador uses his eyes to move
and
that
that's the
safety.
point I was gonna make.
Yeah.
That's the elite, the higher level stuff that we're just not there yet with him because he's a rookie. He has the ball placement on a high level already. We'll see that in a second here, but he doesn't have that look on, look off processing speed that you would hope for him to have. And maybe he can still develop into, or maybe that's a game that you have to game plan around and give him a crutch where he doesn't have to do something like that. I'm not saying that's true yet. I'm just saying that could be a possibility moving forward with this quarterback.
I wouldn't mind seeing him stare down a receiver, like it's so obvious he's gonna throw to him, and then peel that away, and hit that streaking player. Let's move on though, Noah, to play number 5. So this was the ninth drive of the game. It's 2nd and 9 at the 31 in the 3rd quarter here,
Yep, yep. I'm gonna
or at
let
the
it run.
29, not the 31.
Yep, you're good. The thing I like about this the most, I wanted to show this as a highlight for Shador. Obviously, the ball is good. It's a deep ball or whatever. I just like his pocket mechanics here. It's something we have seen him grow on week to week, and I just want to point it out because he is still continuing to grow in that development. He steps up for a second. He takes pressure in his face. He lets the ball go. He gets it to his receiver. That's the type of stuff we haven't seen in our offense since Jameis Winston, but on this level, I would say Joe Flacco in 2023 because Jameis Winston was taking that and throwing it, even if both safeties, I don't even know if there's two safeties. It's only one safety, but if even if that safety that comes down here on the top of your screen, he comes up and shows pressure, which is also why I think Shador sees this, takes it and throws it because the pressure comes down. Then he follows the other receiver. It's basically a single high look, which makes it easier for you to take a deep shot like Shador does here because there's no two safeties. It's not double coverage. That being said, though, I was going on a tangent. I just like Shador's pocket presence here, his ability to read the safety dropping down, using that to his advantage, taking an advantage of that, and getting the ball to a guy that has been one of his favorite targets in Isaiah Bond. What did you see here?
Yeah, it's good recognition of the defense, exactly what you're saying. When he's seeing that defender move with the motion, that's unlocking part of this play and what you typically see, and seeing some of the man. I think they do switch off, if I'm not mistaken. But it's good recognizing that defense. And then, yeah, standing in there and knowing you're going to take that hit and delivering a ball like that. You're absolutely right. We just haven't seen that. And for a rookie to do that, honestly, I think Shador gets more flack than sometimes he should because of the weapons that he has around him, and that's not to make excuses for him at all. But this is a great ball, and he has good downfield ball placement. We've seen it time and time again. What we also see are drops. We see bouncing off of chests. I'm sure that plays in here. Um, so how much can you blame Shador? But this is a really good look and exactly what you want to see from your quarterback.
And that's what I said when I teed us off the beginning of it's a game of circumstance. You're talking about a game where it felt like -10 out there, right? The balls are hard to catch. Pause. They are frozen solid. They are rock hard. You are catching rocks. that are coming at you 40 miles per hour. And you see receivers, whether it be Jerry Judy, who is a veteran, for lack of a better term. I don't mean that as a shot. That felt bad. I'm sorry. Or Harold Fannin. You know what I mean? Harold Fannin, who is a rookie. And while he is Shedor's favorite target, it seems, and our best receiver on this team right now, our best pass catching option, there were drops plentiful in this game. Eric, I know I like it when you tee me up before these plays, but I want to tee you up because you set this one up perfectly. And I
Okay.
want to just use it because we already put it in the video. This play is exactly what you just said 2 plays ago that you want to see. Shador staring down one guy and then going to the other option and making a play. It isn't Shador's fault that this play didn't go through. It's Jerry Judy's fault. You've teed it up twice already. Let's look into it. This is play 6 for us. Drive 9, 3rd and 9 at the 24-yard line. This is the third quarter. And if you watch this game, you know exactly what I'm about to
No.
say. And I take it from the tight here, real quick, Eric, because I want to show that exact thing that you're talking about. He's looking backside the whole time, and you'll see who he's looking at in a second. And there's another point I want to make. Reverses his eyes, gets it 50-50 ball to Judy. I think it's awesome. Judy, of course, then fumbles that ball and puts it in the other person's hands for a
Here
touchdown.
here's the thing, I wanna tee you up and then proceeds to talk through the whole play. Here's the thing, that was not a 50-50 ball. That was perfectly placed where only his receiver could get it. I mean, the ball placement on this is incredible for somebody that's, like you said, staring down on the left side here, and staring off these defenders. This is a fantastic ball. I get what you I'm not griping your 50-50 ball. That's what it is, but this is absolute it doesn't do it justice being so far away. I know this was an interception, but it went right through Judy's hands and bounced off his chest. Like, you could not ask for a better placed ball. We're not asking Judy to catch something behind him. This is a normal throw and catch style play, and he just whiffs on it.
And there's something else I want to point out on this real quick. And the more I look at it, the more I think it's designed for Shador to look one way and then take it back the other way, especially with this pre-snap motion. I don't know if I pulled it from the wide, and I'm going to be mad at myself if I didn't now. Um, I didn't because he motions Bond, but he also he talks to Judy. I think he motioned Judy before this. If not, that's my bad. Regardless, it isn't super important. Shador looks backside here to Isaiah Bond, who is the guy that just motioned out there. And earlier in this game, the reason I don't think he takes this, because if you look at that on the backside, there is an opening for Bond to take that ball, but you could see the corner or safety or outside linebacker, whatever you want to say, already sprinting up towards Bond. And earlier in this game, I'm playing the other clip now, which just coincides with it. Shador almost got on one of those. So I'm curious if it was a design he was supposed to look at and then throw it to the other side, which the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm thinking that,
I think
or
it's
if
designed. Here's why. What you see in the defender, that's on Bond there, he pre-snap, he's taking a couple steps back already. Um, and he's doing it in a way where you could tell that he's gonna be playing off of Bond because he's afraid of Bond's speed and depth there. So knowing that that's a curl route, you can let that go almost immediately and not worry. You shouldn't have to worry about that at all. You know that as a quarterback. I think this was designed to look off and always, be heading towards Judy there.
that is 100% what I'm on too. I just wanted to point it out because, as we say oftentimes in these film videos, we are trying to break down what we can without knowing the exact play call and what the quarterback's process is supposed to be through. Not only depending on what coverage they're in, but also just the basic play design of what the first, second, third read is, what the options are, what he can check at the line, because they have been letting him do that a little bit more.
Noah, I do wanna move on, but you're back, baby. We're ending on a negative again. So this
Well,
is you have a
you have
bonus?
No, we have to end on a negative because it wasn't a positive game. It wasn't a game where your quarterback goes out there and gets rookie of the week honors and you still feel good despite the loss. And it still makes you feel good in a weird way because of draft position and being able to do more things with your draft pick. We got smacked by the Bears in this game. I almost said the Dolphins. We actually smacked the Dolphins. That was nice. I missed that. So of course we got to add end on a low note because after this it's just all garbage time plays.
Fair enough. So this is the ninth drive. It's second and three. Keep that in mind. From the 34-yard line in the fourth quarter here.
Yeah, and I alluded to this play a little bit earlier. It's the same type of thing where they bait Shador, showing pressure. I'm gonna play it from the top one more time. So you see he's on the line. He takes a step forward, drops back into coverage, and goes right for Harold Fannin, who has been Shador's number one target, not just on this drive, but the whole game. I believe the two completions before this were to Harold Fannin as well. They bait him really well with that fake blitz, drop into coverage. Shador gets comfortable, throws an interception. It's ugly. Uh, you could say it's a rookie mistake, but it's definitely something you need to learn how to read at the NFL level of quarterback play.
So I have a slightly different take on this.
Yeah, go ahead. You can play it too again if you want to.
I don't think it's a bad read. I think this is something that he got away with in college.
Probably.
I'm not saying that he did or did not expect the blitz. They are showing blitz here. You're right. But this is a throw. The NFL is different, obviously, from an athleticism standpoint. This is again a heck of an interception. Like this is not an easy play to make. If it were, like more guys like this would probably be receivers. That's not easy. That's over your shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think this is a throw that he typically got away with and didn't expect the athleticism here. Again, that's not to excuse Shador. It's a bad play. It's a bad pick. But I think that's kind of the result of what you're seeing.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing in different fonts. I'm saying, like I said earlier, I said at an NFL level, you have to see these fake blitzes dropping into coverage and say, okay, that is probably dead because he's now on a full blown sprint to the guy I want to target the football to. And he's an NFL quarterback. This is no longer the Big 12. I almost said the Big 10, but there would be a
If
little
you're
bit more translation, I guess, there if it was the Big 10.
if you're Comic Sans, I would be.
Calibre?
Come on,
Calibre?
you know the answer to this. What's my favorite font?
Oh, Helvetica. It's
Oh,
now
there
my
we go.
favorite font too. I like Helvetica Condensed. Why are we talking about fonts? This is film. Obviously, Eric, this was an ugly game. The Browns did not do much of anything on offense. They didn't really do much of anything on defense other than Miles Garrett getting his sack and a half. But I just can't critique one of the best groups on defense right now in the NFL when they're doing everything and then some, and they cannot get a break from the offense. So I like seeing what's going on the offensive side of the ball, what the scheme is, what Shador is seeing, what the offensive line is seeing, and this really encompasses what was a shit show of a Sunday for Cleveland and Chicago.
Yeah, definitely right. Listen, we have more football to come, but for right now, and we've talked about this, it is Miles Garrett watch and it is Shedeur Sanders watch.
It
It's
is
all I
in
care about right now.
It is indeed. It's rookie watch. I'll put rookie watch at third. It's Miles, it's Shador, it's rest of rookie class because quarterback is so important. And if you have the opportunity to have a guy that is your fifth round pick be your guy for the next whatever amount of years, then you have to go up there and take it. And you need to see more from Shador if you want to actually take that opportunity. That being said, it's a new week. We are playing a new team. The Buffalo Bills are very good. If Shador looks good against the Bills, that is a very good sign from him after what was a rough game. I'm curious to see if we're going to see this bounce up and back and down and all over the place because I feel like one week Shador has a really good game and we're excited. The next week he has a really bad game and we're trying to be like, well, at least there's flashes because we're still excited in some way. You get what I'm saying. I'm curious to see what the trends are for his career and also taking that with a grain of salt with the fact that he is a rookie.
It would be such a Browns thing to do to bounce back and beat the Bills. On that note, make sure that you hit that subscribe button because tomorrow we are talking college football and we're going to do our pick'em show where we're going to lay out who we think is going to advance, who we want Ohio State to play. So stay tuned for that. And of course, Friday, we're going to be talking Browns versus Bills. We'll preview that. I'll give you a hint right now. I'm probably going to take the Bills. if I had to pick, but I don't know. We'll see. Noah, anything else before we get out of here?
Yeah, for our longtime viewers, the college football pick'em shows was a very popular one here when we were doing live shows consistently. So it's the same format. We're bringing it back. We're going to have a good time with it. So make sure you check in. We're talking all things, not just Ohio State. So if you're here for Shedeur or you're a Browns fan and you pay attention to other college football, you can just hear us talk about, some of the prospects, some of the big names going into college football in the college football playoffs and just have some fun with us, man. It's always a fun time when it is playoff season in college football, and I can't wait to chop it up with you tomorrow about that, Erik.
And I do want to have a little bit of a tease. Not this week, so not tomorrow's show, but we might have a guest picker on for one of these future pick'em shows.
This is a new development for me live on air, so we'll see together, I guess.
We're not live, but yes, we will. On that note, the debate never ends, but the show does for now. We'll see you tomorrow.